Hi guys, you're probably wondering what on earth are you looking at. This is my messy desk. This is how I left it last night. So I couldn't sleep last night, so I got up and I came out to my craft room. And when I can't sleep at night, I sew scraps. And I've put the paper scraps away. I've cleared all the papers off my desk. They're in my crap box, which is now overflowing, so I have to do something about that. But yeah, I like to sew little fabric scraps at night. And look at this. When I say little fabric scraps, I mean stupid little scraps like this. Look at this. Does anyone keep these? Honestly, this is like crazy. This is mental health issues. Honestly, I think I'm a bit loopy when it comes to recycling. Look, I'm sure nobody keeps these. Does anyone keep these? Say yes, make me feel better. Anyway, so I thought I would just show you what I was up to last night. Maybe make a few more before I clean my desk off. It's kind of like sewing scraps is like my therapy. I really love it. It's like really relaxing, and it's something I really enjoy. And I know my style is a bit strange compared to others, but because I'm only a recycler. So I've got a few new subbies, so welcome to my channel. Yeah, this is what you'll see on my channel. You're not going to see digital kits and pretty scrapbook papers and Mr. Holt's pretty ephemera. You're going to find scraps. So, and some of these scraps are a bit hard to use as well. Let me show you why. So something like this. This is still hemmed. So unless you keep it hemmed or unpick it, which you don't really want to unpick a stupid little scrap like this, do you? Look at all these threads everywhere as well. Oh my gosh, it's out of control. Anyway, a lot of my fabric is actually from op shop clothing. So I like to find ugly dresses and ugly curtains and I don't know, ugly linens. Some is proper fabric that may still be on the bolt, but for the most part it's just old clothing like this. See what I mean? Most people would probably throw this out if they did upcycle whatever this was. I can't remember. But yeah, I still keep it and try and find a use for it. Anyway, so these are my blue scraps. I color code them. I know that's a bit loopy as well. And believe it or not, all of this, I'm going to move you. There's my sewing machine here. So all of this fit into this little blue baggie. Now, I used to have all my scraps in one little tub, and then I pulled out the little itty bits. And now I've got color-coded bigger scraps. And, oh, see, something like this shouldn't be in here. This is a long strip that I'll probably just make a ruffle for, because I do mixed ruffle packs in my Etsy, like just a box of 60, just to get rid of fabric. Anyway, so all my scraps are color coded. I've got bigger scraps and then I've got the itty bitty scraps, and they're all in baggies. And little baggies was manageable at one stage, but now you can see this little baggie was like stuffed full. And it's not a big baggie either. It's just my husband used to collect comic books years ago, and he's got a huge collection, and the bags were all yellowed, so he bought some new plastic bags, and he knows I hate putting plastic in the bin, so I've been using these baggies for just random rubbish. Anyway, so it's just a comic book sleeve. It's not that big. Anyway, so what I did last night, what most of us do with scraps is I suppose make little snippets, but these ones aren't, I suppose, normal snippets. So I have made a lot of different snippet trims in my time. I was doing this crazy sort of stuff long before I ever even started my YouTube channel, because my channel's not actually that old. So yeah, I've been loopy for quite a while, but I'll put some links to previous trims down below, so if you want to see some less scrappy, chaotic ones, I'll put a few links down below if you haven't seen them. But anyway, this is a few that I made last night, and they are very scrappy. And I've actually made these ones a little thinner than normal. So this is some blue cotton. I have no idea what it's off because I've long forgotten, and I only had a few scraps left that weren't actually that long. I don't know, it's probably 70 centimeters long or something, but I've just ripped it into strips, and I've just sewn with one small zigzag stitch straight up the middle, itty bitty scraps on. And when I say itty bitty, I mean itty bitty. And I can actually do this quite quick. So I know it looks like, oh, itty bitty scraps would take you forever to sew down, but you can actually make these quite quick. So I thought I would show you, if you are someone that has a sewing machine and you use fabric in your journals, or not just journals, whatever crafts, you can make some little trims. And if your style isn't scrappy, you can still make them, and I don't know, send them out as happy mails, or I don't know, give it, if you've got a YouTube channel, you can give them out as little prizes on your channel. But I'm sure you'll find someone that likes scrappy. Okay, so that's one. I thought these would make really just good little page edges on pages. So let me show you. Where's a page? Okay, that's like a really dumb question. Hold on. I'm so sorry. I'm coughing, sneezing. I don't have the flu. I don't know why I'm sneezing. Something's agitated me. Okay, so if you've got your little coffee dyed paper for your journal. Oh my gosh, this pile. Sorry, I'm looking at it on camera and it looks pretty bad. Okay, so you just stick it down as little trim. And if you like, you can have the edges, you know, hanging over. I think it looks so cute. Or even if you've put like a pocket here, you can just put some along the side of the pocket. Or if you've got a journal. Do I have a journal here? Kinda. This is Jemima Duck that's been sitting around forever. Ooh, it's a bit hard. Okay, I wouldn't put it on this journal, maybe if it were green or army green, but you get the idea. You can put it down the spine of a journal, especially if you do the just a normal pamphlet, 3-hole pamphlet stitch or something, and you want to hide that, and you don't do like a hidden binding, you can just cover it up with something like this, really easy. And boho journals, I think they're really good in boho journals, but I don't know, everyone thinks boho when they see this. I just think they can be used in any journal. Anyway, okay, so this is one. This is some of that beautiful sparkly fabric. You can't tell because of a little scrap, but it's really gorgeous. I'm out of it now. It's gone. That's one. Okay. Oh, this was the... Wait, was this the first one? I can't tell. No, this was the second one I did. So the first one had some nicer little scraps like this and this, and maybe some bigger pieces, because I picked out the larger squares. But this one is probably a little more scrappy because the pieces were smaller. but still I love it. I love this fabric. I still have a bit of that fabric left. Okay, again, just a single thread. And if you're wondering how you keep it together when you use it, because it's one line of stitching, and I did that deliberate. Most of my snippet trims, or whatever you want to call them, I usually do 3 rows, but this one I've used a narrower strip to begin with. Usually I make them a bit wider, and this one I kind of wanted the edges to be all loose and roughly fluffy, if you know what I mean. So when you go to cut it, before you cut it, all you need to do, just use a bit of glue, any glue, PVA, you can use like a craft glue, like a clear acetone based one, whatever, it doesn't matter. Just a bit of PVA is fine, except it takes longer to dry, whereas these clear glues with acetone base dry a lot quicker. Anyway, just where you're going to cut, just put some glue along there and let it dry, and then cut in the middle of the strip of glue. And you're going to glue it down anyway, so when you glue it down, just put glue along the seam and glue it down. So anyway, that's one. I love them, they're so cool. I feel like sewing a whole bunch of strips together and making like a super duper duper long one on a great big roll just to sit on my desk. Okay, what else? There was another little one I did. Okay, this one was a bit different. This one's on a really narrow strip, which was kind of annoying because I couldn't see where I was going, and that's why I've just made it short, because this strip of fabric was really long, but yeah, it was really narrow, and the edges, because I tore it originally, kind of curled up, which made it hard to kind of sew down the middle. But anyway, got there in the end. This one is, let me see, in my fabric, I've got all these long bits from cutting out circles and cutting around stuff, and anyway, they're kind of long and stringy. So all I did for this one is, oh well, I'll show you on the sewing machine. I just pretty much grabbed a chunk and stuck it under and sewed it. Then at the end, I just gave him a little haircut down the side just to make it a bit more even. But this one I love. So imagine this one on a page. I've lost that page already. Here it is. So this one, if you had a full strip, that would be so cool in a boho journal. Or even if you did a green one, like a nature themed journal as well, would be so cool. Anyway, I did consider sewing some little sequins down the middle as well as I go, but it was 3 in the morning and I thought, yeah, nah, forget it. I'm blind enough as it is through the day, let alone at 3 in the morning. Okay, so I'm just going to move you to my sewing machine, and I'm going to show you how I do these, which is a bit scary because it's like, I don't know, it's like a crazy lady at work. Okay, let me move you over. Okay, so I'm kind of struggling to find an angle that you can see where my big mitts don't get in the way, or I don't lean too far forward and put my boobies on the camera. Okay, so let's try it again. I've already done 2 videos and I've deleted them. So let's see if this angle works. And Yeah, sorry, I really need to buy a tripod or something. You're sitting on a big roll of stretchy blue lace and a sticky tape, empty sticky tape roll at the moment. Okay, let's see if this works. So, I'm just starting with, a little thin strip. It's short. It's about the width of a regular page, or maybe a little bit bigger. And I'm going to do one of these really fluffy ones with the long thin strips, because that's kind of the pieces that I've got left now. So some are quite long like this, which I'm just going to snip even smaller, just because they're too long and I don't want too much of the same colour in the one spot. Okay, so all I'm doing is picking a pile of junk out of my little scraps, and I'm seriously just, oh, there's a bit of string or something. We'll pop this guy in as well. Okay, let me just get it started. I'm using a small zigzag stitch, and okay. I don't know why, at the minute I turn the camera on, I stuff around. If I were sitting here by myself in the middle of the night, I would have probably finished this strip by now. I don't know why once that camera goes on, I really stuff around. Anyway, I'm just going to shove the little strips under. And I try and stay in the middle. See, the minute the camera goes on, look, I start picking and choosing which bits I want to use. Whereas if I do this by myself, I kind of don't do that. My poor little machine, I really torture it, don't I? I've sewn all manner of things on my machine. Really like this checkered fabric. Okay, stop mucking around. Just do it. My sewing machine, it's just a cheap little Elmer 2000 from Spotlight. See, this one I went too far forward, so I'm going to have to lift my foot to shove it under. Yeah, it's a little Elmer 2000 from Spotlight. It was like a super cheap one. It was like $80 or $90 or something. It's only got very basic stitches. Hope you can see okay. It's just got basic stitches. But that's okay for me because, in all honesty, I only really use zigzag and straight stitch anyway. But I would really like to find out, I'm not sure if my little machine does free motion stitching. I'm not sure if there is a foot that I can attach. I'm assuming that you can, free motion stitch on all machines, but I don't know. Actually, it's not a foot, is it? It's onto the needle. Okay, when you make your own, you're not going to take this long. I don't know why. When the camera turns on, like, I start flicking around and chopping pieces down to size. When I'm by myself, I just grab and sew. I don't know why I muck around so much when it's off camera. When I'm on camera. Oh, I don't know if it's now because I'm picking up all long pieces. Maybe I should have given him a little haircut before I put the camera on. Anyway, I hope there's no real seamstresses watching because they're probably thinking, what on earth is this girl doing? I also sew paper scraps like this to make little snippet trims, and I think they turn out super cute. I might, if I can stay in my craft room today, depends what time we drop the little grandkiddies back, I might see if I can do another video to show you the paper scrap ones, because I love sewing paper. And also I did one, I should have filmed it or at least videoed it before I sent off, but I did one for a lady that I know. she orders from my shop quite regularly, and I know she's a bit like me, she likes scrappy stuff, so I did make her a combined paper fabric one, which turned out super cool. I loved it. I kind of wanted to keep it after I made it. And I did make another one for myself, but it didn't turn out as well. See, this is something that actually has a knot in it, and I don't want that little hard piece in there. I want it to stay fluffy, so I'm just going to cut that little knot off. And look, I'm going to put this little knot in my little rubbish because I don't want to keep picking it up. See, I can let go of, whoop. Okay, I think I've got a little piece caught under there. We'll see. That's okay. I'll show you my bloopers. Yeah, I think I've got a little piece stuck. Actually, I think I'm shoving more under than I did last night or previous ones. Sometimes when I get a piece stuck, I know this sounds bad, but I just keep sewing and I let it just work itself out. Figure it out, little machine. Figure it out. And hear that zzz sound my machine is making. Someone said maybe it's the wrong size bobbin, but I checked, and this is the original bobbin I've got in there that came with the machine, so I don't think it's that. I'm not sure why. Probably needs a clean out. Goodness knows what's hiding down there. Yeah, see that little guy there? I think he's going to pull through. I'd estimate this takes me 3 times longer when I put the camera on. Why? I just don't know. And I know I'm doing it. I know I'm flicking through little bits instead of just grabbing like I normally do when I'm by myself. So I kind of want the longer bits like this. And if you're making this for yourself, you can also see I've got this little guy stuck under the foot. I'll just snip him. Actually, with all the ones I've made off camera, I hardly ever get it stuck. Of course, I put the camera on and I get it stuck. Go. Okay, nearly there. What was I saying? I think I was saying something and I just forgot. This video may never get to air. Before you put your foot up, always put your needle down, or your little bits wiggle around. Okay, so this guy, I'll sew to the length of it. Look how fluffy he is. Okay, then all I do is give him a haircut. But before I give him a haircut, I'm actually going to make another one so I don't have to move the camera. I'll put this aside for a minute. Okay, let's make another little guy. Although you've probably been tortured enough just seeing that. Okay. I'd love one of those sewing machines that, you know, it's flush with your table, like on a proper sewing table. I just put a big, I've got a big old Webster's dictionary there. Okay, also I'm sewing right-footed and I usually sew left-footed, but because my foot is still in a stupid moon boot, bits of ribbon as well in here. Because my foot's still in a stupid moon boot, I can't sew with my left foot, so I'm sewing right-footed, which for me it's kind of hard. I feel like I'm flooring it all the time. See all these stupid strips that you cut off, I don't know, trimming stuff, and you know, when you make fabric covered journals and if you only take the fabric to the edge instead of hemming it over, you've got little strips. I think most of these were when I was cutting up fabric circles, so they're kind of a funny shape. Okay, I know it looks ugly now, but you just wait till we finish. I think this is the best way to get rid of really dumb, stupid little scraps. Like, see this? Look at that. That was from a circle. What are you going to do with that? Just fold it over and chuck it under. Oh, and thank you, Jeanette, or Janet, I don't know how, if you say Jeanette or Janet, from Crafty Dork. You kept me company last night when I was in here at 3 in the morning. I was doing a bit of a catch up on her videos while I was sewing and gluing and because I wasn't just sewing scraps. That came about from about 2 to 3. I was gluing scraps before that. If you don't know Janet's channel, Crafty Dog's channel, head over and check out her channel. She's like really creative, and she's got an Etsy shop as well. I'm going to put the link to her channel and that down below. She's really creative and I really love her style. She does so much work on her journals. I was still trying to catch up on her Christmas journal series, her little golden books. And Jenna, I love how you craft your how you pick up little bits around you and you say, oh, I need this and that, and you go off and get it. So a little bit kind of like me. Okay, this one's taking way too long. Don't worry, when you'll see if you make your own, you really don't take this long, okay? You just sit down and do it. But yeah, like I said, I know you're watching, so I tend to stuff about a fair bit. This is like the tutorial from hell. Actually, I don't like the word tutorial. Everyone uses tutorial, but I feel like tutorial means, okay, I'm teaching you this and this is how you need to do it if you want it to turn out right. And that's not it at all. For me, I just like to show you things, and whether you do it the same way or not, there's no right or wrong. Just do whatever. I just try and give you ideas on stuff. I mean, this is not a new idea. I used to think it was a new idea when I used to do it years ago, until I found YouTube, and then I'm like, oh, I'm not that kooky after all. Other people have been sewing scraps long before me. Yeah, I used to think I was so creative until I found YouTube. And then realised that none of my great ideas were actually new. I mean, they were new to me when I thought about them, but other people had been doing stuff like I was doing for years. And to be honest, people would have been doing it long before YouTube as well. Okay. Now, I can't see my little phone screen, so I have no idea what you just saw. I'm sure you're sitting there horrified at whatever you did see. Okay. Let's move. Oh, should I do one? See, I was going to also show you one that has bigger pieces, like, you know, the two long strips. But in this pile, I've really only got itty bitty strips. I don't think I've got enough big pieces left to do one. I might show you a bigger piece snippet trim another time. See, I need bigger squares like this instead of this. So I'll move you over now and I'll show you these ones that we just sewed, and I'll show you ones with bigger scraps another time. These are just the itty bitty scraps. Okay, let me move you over. Okay, so before I give those a haircut, I just watched the previous bit of my video back, and yeah, I don't think you could see what I was doing with the fabric in my hands before I put it onto the machine. So all I was doing was just these long bits. I was just grabbing some like this and just folding them over to kind of make, I don't know if you can see that, but just a longish strip that's a little bit flat in the center so that I could just tuck it under my machine. So just like that. And then I'll just shove this bit under the foot of the sewing machine. So if you see what I mean, just grab some, just make a longish piece like that. Okay, so, oh no, now I need to move all of this. I don't think I'll get these back into that little baggie, even though they came out of that. So I'm just going to, I use these trays for everything. They're usually my little projects on the go. Look at this. Oh my gosh, how did I fit this in that little baggie? This also shouldn't be in there. This is some nylon ribbon. Chuck it aside. Okay. Sorry, I'll just quickly clean my desk. And see, this is why, you know, when I do a video, I'm always like brushing away little bits of fluff and fabric and threads. This is why it ends up such a mess after you pull out all those little bits. Okay. So look, I've still got to use all of these. I feel like just sitting there sewing trims until this basket is gone. Okay. So these were the two I showed at the beginning, the long ones with the bigger pieces. Oh, these were the two I said I made two on video, but I deleted the video because my big head or my big boobies were getting in the way in camera and I had to reshoot. So let me just show you. So this is what it comes out like. See, they're quite pretty. They're very shaggy. And I mean, you could leave it like this, but it's a bit out of control. And look, there's just these random bits hanging. So what do? I just give it a little haircut. And yes, I cut these back into my box. So little pieces like this end up getting smaller and smaller and smaller. But I do have another project in mind. Well, I've got to experiment first. Actually, half the stuff I do is experiment. But okay, let's give this a little haircut. So sometimes it's easier to cut it from the back actually. Okay. Just randomly snip to see which bits I like and don't like. Sometimes they're folded over and I'll just get the scissors. See this one? It's folded over. I'll just get the scissors and snip it apart. Look at this guy. See, he'll go in for another one. Another trim. Well, this big guy, I don't like how big he is. I'm going to actually make him thinner. Okay. And I think he's about done. Maybe this guy's a bit... I feel like my fabric scissors are blunt all of a sudden. Okay. How's he look? Nope, there's a loop there. I don't like when it loops over. And he looks a bit... Okay, let's say he's done. Okay, so this, nope, I don't want this guy here. So that's what this one's looking like from the back. Quite neat actually from the back. This guy's bugging me. This fabric is quite thick. Oop, ripped him out. Okay. You will find, because you're just bunching stuff in under the machine, if you go like that, there may be some that do actually come out. This guy. Don't like him. Snip him off. See this guy? He's too big and thick. I shouldn't have shoved him under the machine that thick. Oh, actually it was folded over, that's why. Okay, let's just raggy him up a bit. the more I play with it, the more I'm pulling out. Don't like how thick that piece is. Okay. See, they were weird shapes to begin with, so okay. I think he's done now. There's a loop there. Oh, I don't like loops. Okay, I'm going to leave this guy as is. No, I'm not. I don't like this big fat square piece. Let's trim him. I don't know, the other ones I didn't trim as much. I think it's just because you're watching. Okay, so this guy is going to stay like this. Isn't he cute? Oop. That's definitely coming off. Okay, so that's one. This was the other one I did off camera. Ew, this one I put big chunks under. Okay, this sounds dumb, but I don't like those threads at the end. Given that it's all threads hanging out everywhere. What happened here? Something fluffy in there. Okay, let's give this guy a haircut. I think I might bring this guy in a lot more than the other one. This little guy's not going to be as shaggy, I suppose. Snip him off. Okay, I'll call him done. Aren't they cute? No, this black bit is bugging me. And so is that thread at the end. Oop, little boo-boo there. That's okay though, because you glue it down. Okay, so I'd say he's done. Nope. Stop saying he's done and finding another piece to snip. Stop! He'll be bold if I keep snipping. Okay. See, aren't they cute? I just think they're so, so cute. And why not use all those little scrappies? See, if I threw them in the bin, look how much would go in the bin. Oop, bit of lace. Oh, and this is just my blue scraps, don't forget. So I've got like bags of other scraps color coded. Mind you, blue is the one that I have the most scraps for some reason. Okay, so this is one of the ones that we sewed together. Kind of want to leave him all shaggy. It reminds me of okay, this is going to show my age. Does anyone remember that sea monster show years ago? I can't remember the name of it. They were these sea monsters, and they were the worst costumes. They lived in a cave by the beach, and I feel like his name was Sigrid or Siegfried or something like that. I can't remember. But they were these just men in these shaggy costumes, kind of like this. But they were sea monsters. Oh, what was the name of it? I can't remember. I bet if I ask my husband, he'll remember. He knows all the stupid shows from when we were young. Okay, this guy, I think I've given too much of a haircut. Yet I keep snipping. Stop! Okay, I say he's done. Well, he's a bit bald up this end, isn't he? Let's even him up. It's like when you're little and, you know, you chop Barbie's hair and you just keep cutting. Well, I never had a Barbie because I didn't have dolls. I was a tomboy. I had a cricket bat and a football. And a BMX bike that the brakes didn't work. But, my sister had a doll or two that I used to pull their heads off or cut their hair. Okay. I don't know why I tell you these things. You already probably think I'm crazy. Okay, there you go. Isn't it pretty? I just love them. Okay, this is the other one we sewed on camera. It's so shaggy. I love it. But I don't love this big chunk that's hanging out there. Get off. All this thread. Why would a thread bother me when it's so shaggy? Okay, let's cut this baby. See, I think they'd even look even nicer if the strips were all really straight strips. I suppose if you've got some scraps of fabric, like squares and rectangles and, like, you know, proper fabric pieces, you could rip it into strips and do this. And I think the strips across, you know, kind of give that feathered look. Whereas all mine are kind of a weird shape, so they jut out everywhere. Okay. This guy, I wish he wasn't folded over because I'm seeing the white on the back, which kind of bugs me. Okay. I think I've cut this guy's hair enough. Except this guy. Okay. Stop snipping. Okay, let's get rid of this. Okay, so these were the two we did on camera. Ooh, I like when there's a bit of sparkle in there. Oh no, wait, I see one more bit. I really need to snip that guy. Oop, and that guy. Stop! Okay, those are the two I did film, but I deleted it because my boobies were on camera. Let me snip the thread off the end. I usually leave the threads on everything, but for some reason the one thing that I should probably leave them on, I want to snip them off. And this little guy. Oh, I think I did him off camera as well. Oh no, he was one from last night. And these are the two long strips with the larger pieces that I did last night. Or should I say early this morning. And this is the other one from early this morning. I want to do some more like this with the bigger pieces that aren't bunched up. So these are a bit neater. Is that the word? Okay. Anyway, that's it. And thanks for watching. If you made it this far, I know this is like kooky stuff. I know it's a bit kooky, but your little fabric scraps, yeah, keep them, because I've got some more scrap fabric projects that I'd like to show you. So if you don't keep those little scraps, start keeping them. And like I said, if you wouldn't use something like this, doesn't matter, make some anyway, and just send them out in Happy Mails or whatever, swaps and stuff, or use them in journals that you give to other people. Okay, so that's it. And actually what I might do, I'm going to put all of these, so the two long strips and all of these, into my little Etsy in one super raggy pack, just really cheap, just to get rid of them. They're just a bit of fun, but they're really nice. They're usable. And if you don't have a sewing machine, you might like the look of these, but you can't make your own. So I'm going to put all of this just into one little pack in my Etsy, and first in, first gets it. It's going to be super cheap, and I don't know, I may make some more because I really want to get rid of scraps. I need to get rid of scraps. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching. Bye.